Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's reading. My name is Kimberly, and super thrilled for you guys to be here because, first of all, we're doing a very unique type of reading topic today. We're talking about your twin flame. Okay, so if you do not have a twin flame, or if you have no idea whether your connection is a twin flame or not, it's up to you if you want to stick around for the messages in the readings today. But the intentions are that those of you that clicked on this video are dealing with some sort of twin flame experience. And again, we do have a pick a card set up today. So even though each of these readings are going to be about a twin flame connection, it's going to look different, you know? As far as the timeline, as far as the specifics, as far as the details, it may or may not look different, to be honest, depending on the collective energy. But we're gonna see what happens today. Okay. I probably will not do this type of topic again for the public. I am considering making a membership, guys. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do that because, again, I don't want to just set up a membership and it be nothing great for you. I want it to be valuable for you guys. So, some of the videos and things I'm planning to do are going to be a little different. So, this, for example, a topic like twin flames, this is going to end up being on the membership, but I figured why not touch base with my channel and see what the collective is when it comes to this type of soul connection. Okay, with that in mind. And again, twin flames, there's a lot of false twin flames. One of the parameters is most of you, all of you should be going through a spiritual awakening if you've met your divine counterpart. And again, some of you could be currently in the thick of it, dark night of the soul. You could be ascending, you could be in union. We're going to take a look at everything. So choose wisely when you choose a pile today. Okay. We are going to start with the tarot. We have 3 different classic decks for each of the piles. And then we have a plethora of oracle because I really want to get into the detail and the mindset, the emotional set. Again, this is all about your twin flame, the ultimate reading. So with that in mind, let's get into your pile selection. If you already know what pile is you're tuned into the most, the timestamps are down below, so don't forget to just meet me over there. But for everyone else, let's get started. So for pile 1, we have this amethyst crystal. And this is the back of your classic deck. Original Rider Waite classic deck, guys. So that was pile 1. Pile 2, we have the light purple gem. And this is the back of your classic tarot deck. Okay, and then for pile 3, we have this pink agate. Or purple. I feel like it's more pinkish purple. And this is the back of your classic deck. All right, guys, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to have to, I don't know what's going to come out today. One of the other reasons that inspired me to do this reading is I was just called to do it. And I couldn't get my mind off of it, especially, lately, the twin flame energy has been in the collective like you wouldn't believe. So I thought, you know what? Let's do a whole topic based on your connection, guys. So, and it's unique. It's 1% of the population. So again, some of you might be wondering if this is a twin flame. You would know. I mean, personally, I think you would know. Okay, I'm just going to say it. But if you're still on the fence, feel free to listen to the messages, especially if you're, attracted to one of the readings. And again, if you're just here for the messages, guys, whether it's a twin flame or not, I know some of you are going to stick around for the messages as well. So regardless, I will meet you over there. Bye, guys. Hello, Pile One, and welcome to your ultimate twin flame reading, whatever is going on in the current moment. Trust me when I say I hope you're doing well. Okay, so we have the amethyst and the classic deck. I think it's pop art. I gotta double check, but let's get started. Okay, so what is, gosh, I don't even know where to begin, but I guess what are the current thoughts, feelings? What's the current status between you and your twin flame? It's so cool to actually just say it, your twin flame. Because honestly, guys, it's been in the collective. What do we need to see? Where are you at with your twin flame? Some of you might be in a no contact. Some of you might be talking. Some of you might be going through it. Again, it really depends on this collective group one. So as we're tuning in with the energy, Spirit, thank you so much for not only inspiring this reading, but always being here for the collective, Spirit. Thank you. May we get the best messages for Pal One's higher self today when it comes to their twin flame. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on between you two. Let's see. The ultimate twin flame reading. We're going to start with thoughts and feelings and the current status, the current energy between the both of you. Okay. So this is coming through. We're taking it upright. It's 10 of Pentacles. And we have the 10 of Wands. Wow. Two tens. Something about completion, something about a pattern. Let's see what's coming through. Temperance in reverse. And this is card number 14, Sagittarius energy. Queen of Wands. Okay. Wow. All right. Are we taking these? The Chariot. Yes. We're just going to make room, guys. And Ace of Cups. Okay. Let's get our clarifiers. Let's see. What else is going on, Spirit? What do we need to see for this collective? The Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, now the Hanged Man is card number 12, Pisces, water sign. There it is, Six of Cups in reverse. That's one of my signifiers for twin flame, just because it feels very, not always though, don't get me wrong, but, or some sort of soul connections sometimes. All right, we got the Two of Wands with Temperance. The Nine of Pentacles, nice, coming with the Queen of Wands. Okay. And the Knight of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Six of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Okay. So First of all, I want to start with stuff we probably already know, but I'm still gonna talk about it. The attraction, the magnetic pull. You're coming through as the Queen of Wands for this person and the Nine of Pentacles. So something about your energy right now is captivating this person. They think of you as someone that is completely independent. Someone that is, you could be very stable, very successful, very abundant. And it's not only professional, it could be internal, it could be physical. They're looking at you as someone that is hard to keep, like they can't keep their eyes off of you. That's the type of attraction. Okay. I do feel though that this energy is not completely, you and your twin flame at this point doesn't feel you are in union right now. I do feel like you're close though. I'm not seeing an empress, I'm not seeing an emperor, but I am seeing the nine of pentacles. The nine of pentacles with the queen of wands. So to go back to your energy, whether not only is this person viewing you, but I feel like that is the energy that you are currently in. You're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling confident, not only in the physical realm, but I feel as though you're just in your 3D experience, you're feeling very aligned. Okay. With that in mind, though, I do feel like someone's emotions are a little bit in an uproar. We're getting temperance and the two of wands at the center of our reading. Two of wands to me reminds me of someone that knows exactly what they want. There's a little bit of a distance. They need to make a choice, but they know what choice they're going to make. But something about the emotional uproar and this could be mirrored because it's a twin flame connection, but if you don't feel this energy, it's it's your twin flame. And most of you that come across this reading are going to be the divine feminine, guys, because the divine masculine most likely will not come to a tarot reading. Okay? So keep this in mind. That being said, and you can't call this person your divine masculine if they're not in that energy yet. That's just my advice for you guys. You know, someone's emotions are in an uproar. There could have been some sort of, a little bit of an imbalance. Someone could have gotten angry. Emotions could have been what made this person or you disconnect in whatever regard. It was feeling a little overwhelming, maybe. But I am getting a feeling of attachment on someone's part. So if you feel yourself, collective, attaching or, focusing more on this person than you should, that could be where the energy is with the 10 of wands and the 6 of cups in reverse. But regardless if you are in the queen of wands, 9 of pentacles energy and you're doing very well, if you are still, searching up this person or wondering what's going on with them, if you are in some sort of disconnect, that's feeling a little burdensome. Now, again, this could also be mirrored. The attachment could go both ways, but if you feel, and honestly, with the Queen of Wands upright, I feel like it's more this person, if I'm going to be honest. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling a little wounded right now as well. And I feel they're latching on to this energy that's making them feel imbalanced. I'm also getting some sort of urgency with the temperance and the two of wands, as far as making a decision and knowing which direction to go into. It could feel like like this person feels like they have to make a move fast. Okay. To talk about the 10 of pentacles, because that did lead your spread. That's future oriented. But we're getting it with the hanged man in reverse. Is this person going through some sort of stability or financial issues or career path issues? It's more so, I feel as though The future is being focused on, but with pentacles, that could have more to do with the 3D world. Pentacles, money, finances, again, career. And we're getting it with the Hanged Man in reverse, which could feel as though someone is focused or stuck on something. And in this case, the Ten of Pentacles, a future status, creating, for the Emperor, an empire. So I'm wondering if this is where this person's current energy is as far as when it comes to you. If you're coming through as a Nine of Pentacles and this person's not showing up, I mean, if anything, the Knight of Cups, and we're going to talk about this energy because this could be a little bit of a delay as well with the Chariot in reverse, Ace of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. But to go back to the main messages, guys, it's like we got the Queen and the Nine of Pentacles, your status. You're good. Maybe in your 3D world, you have financial gains. You are living in a feeling of abundance, even if you're still like dealing with bills and stuff. I mean, you are a human being, right? But the idea that you could take care of yourself, you don't need anyone, you are also maybe focused on what is lifting you up, what's bringing you some passion in your life. For those of you that are truly divine, feminine energy, whether you're male or female, you might be starting a new passion project, something in the spiritual realm. So that could be kind of what your attention is invested in, which is bringing you to life. It's bringing you abundance and it's making you feel really good about yourself. Internally, physically, I think your whole world is expanding in that sense. But then your twin flame, they may be focused on, it's like, I feel like their energy is over here. They're feeling very burdened. They're going through perhaps some hardships. You're not leaving their mind though, guys. Obviously, there is some sort of an attachment. But it could also represent you guys are currently perhaps in some sort of disagreement or disconnect. I'm not sure if it's a no contact completely. It may or may not be for this collective. It more so is, but it could be. I mean, this is a twin flame journey, but those of you that are sensing, like talking to this person and you're sensing resistance, it is because this person is not focused on your energy right now. They're focused on tempering things in their future, but it starts in the present. However, they haven't taken their eyes off of you. When I look at the Six of Cups and the Two of Wands, this person already knows the choice that they are making. But something about actually stepping into that choice with aligned movement is feeling where this person is not there yet, or they're not focused on that yet. The actual forward movement, which now is leading me to this because it feels really good. Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, that's a fresh start, a new beginning, and romantic new beginning as well, a love offer. But we're getting it with it fell together, whether it fell separate or together with the Chariot in reverse. The feeling where this person is still not ready or something about this connection isn't there yet. So whether it's this person, but again, if this is a true twin flame connection, if they're not ready, that means you're not ready, collective. And I'm going to have to be honest today. Okay? Because you will be going through a spiritual awakening. If you're focused on this person, you will never get anywhere with this. Both of you are going to repel each other. However, the Knight of Cups is a love offer. I'm curious what this means. So let's get a clarifier. Ooh, what did gosh, I forgot what was at the bottom of the deck. Do you guys remember? Queen of Cups. Wow, guys. This could also imply that you're not making a move. You're not making a move. Get one more. Page of Cups. God, we're getting the whole Cups family, guys. And the Page of Cups is in reverse. And I feel like it's just a confirmation, again, Knight of Wands in reverse, where this person and you, the connection itself, is not ready to move in a 3D aligned way yet. Both of you are focusing your attention on elsewhere. More so, the Queen of Wands and the Pentacles energy is focusing on self, business, your abundance, what's lifting you up, making you happy. And this person is focused on figuring out their bag, figuring out their future prospects, making sure everything is aligned. It is creating a lot of imbalance, a lot of uproar in their emotional nervous system, and it's feeling a little bit burdened. And they're stuck on this. The Hanged Man is in reverse. They're not seeing their way out yet. So, again, most of you probably are in a no contact, but for those of you that are communicating, this is not, flying. This is not moving at the pacing, or you're realizing it's not really developing. And it's because this person is not ready to receive. They're not ready to move. And again, I don't think they're close to being their divine selves yet. So let's see. What animal energy? We're moving on to the oracle, guys. So we have the wild unknown animal spirit. And we're going to take a look at whether it's your energy, their energy, or mirrored energy. Let's see. Lamb. Lamb to the slaughter. I don't know why that's... Mouse. Gosh, these animals that are so innocent. Butterfly. Okay. Bottom of the deck, scorpion. Hawk after that. Guys, butterfly, mouse, lamb, like, come on. Even the scorpion is pretty tiny, right? But let's start with the butterfly, and then we'll go over to the lamb and mouse. And then we'll end on the scorpion, because that could be where the temperance in reverse is. So butterfly does feel like the idea of transformation. Something is being shifted. We got 2 tens right out the gate, which I noted as, a pattern or a cycle. The tens, Wheel of Fortune type of energy, to go back to Pisces energy with the Hanged Man again. But it is giving a little bit where if something is cycling through between you and your twin flame, it's developing at a pace that is truly divinely guided. I do believe that both of you could be dimming a little bit, like you're not really putting yourselves out there. As far as social media, you guys might be keeping to yourselves. And again, this could be mirrored, especially with the lamb and the mouse, like hunks in the background. It's like the feeling of like lamb to the slaughter, like the innocence of a beautiful lamb being sacrificed, the sacrificial lamb. I'm curious what the book says, though. So hang on. Okay, so lamb talks about peaceful, prophet, and patience. So, this could be what the current energy is between the both of you. It's like that quiet stillness, that patience. Do you hear the mouse in the background? So it could also represent, you might still feel this person's energy. I mean, this is the ultimate twin flame, like this, you guys have the same soul. You're operating out of the same engine. So there's no way around it. But as a divine feminine, you are able to kind of disconnect easier once you get through the dark night of the soul and once you start ascending and going through all the hard stuff, you know? And I feel like this is kind of the calm after the storm for you guys. And at this point, I think most of you might be kind of building yourself up and focusing on your spiritual awakening journey. Scorpion is coming through as fire energy, you know, passionate energy. Scorpio's tail, you never know when it's going to strike. And Scorpio, the horoscope is water, but this is coming through. The energy, I believe, is coming through as Scorpion. Is it? Fire, I think, in this oracle deck, which makes sense because it has the yellow, the orange, and I believe earth and then air. So, was there a passionate moment that ended things, you know? And by passionate, I mean things went south. Was there a fight? Did someone yell? Did someone overreact? Did someone triggers were there? And again, this could be mirrored, meaning if you were triggered, this person was triggered in a different way. Regardless, it led to both of you having this space, okay? All right, I want to keep going. So Cosmic Insights is a new oracle deck, and I thought, why not bust it out for this reading? This is a bigger version, which I prefer. I don't like the little ones. This is like a nice deck to. So let's see what comes out for this twin flame collective spirit with this energy. What else do we need to see about this person? About the connection? Health? Actually, let's put it here. We have commitment, and we are getting date night. Ooh! Distance. Okay, bottom of the deck. So this could be the feeling in the air, you know, like where you might even sense, like, is this person coming in? We're gonna, yes, at the new bottom of the deck with the ladybug. It's like, is this person gonna come in? You might be sensing the energy shifting, evolving, changing. But there is still that distance in the 3D. So, but date night commitment, I mean, this is on the mind. 10 of Pentacles is out here, guys. And health, I'm thinking of this more as stuck in ego, you know? But we're looking at it, the heart, like the heartbeat. And with Temperance coming in reverse, it's like the emotional uncomfortability that either you or this person or both of you are mirroring in some way. Like I'm getting the feeling of anxiety. I'm getting the feeling of nerves, anxiety, like where the nervous system needs to cool down. Something about this person or you for them or them for you or both in this current energy could feel like a zap to the nervous system. So with that in mind, I think the distance is there for a reason. For those of you that are not talking to this person, though, I do feel like you guys have gone through a lot of the hard part, though. Like this doesn't feel like the beginning of your twin flame connection. This feels like you guys have been in it for a while, but you still don't feel completely in union with self, perhaps. You know, because that is what union means. It doesn't mean physical union with the person. It means inner union with your soul. And again, to go back to for some of you that could still be kind of lingering and focusing on this person, it's very important to go back to your stillness, But I don't know, date night and commitment is not a bad indicator, guys. We got yes at the bottom, like yeah. For a lot of you, for the majority of you guys, this collective, you guys are very close to union though, if that makes sense. Anima Mundi. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. The gem. Okay, that one fell on the ground. Hang on. Ouch. The vow. What in the world? And look at the ascension. Okay. Gosh. The bridge. This is feeling as though a lot of you could be bridging the gap between each other. You might be. Okay, I feel like some of you could be on the precipice of ending a cycle with this person, but be very careful because you don't want it to go fall back into the same pattern or cycle, the hot, cold runner chaser energy. But we're getting the vow, we're getting commitment, the gem. It's feeling very, and Anima Mundi, I feel like it's feeling very connected as far as how you and this person are marrying each other, as far as how you guys view each other. Even in this distance or disconnect for some of you, it's like this person recognizes your value. You are coming through as someone that is precious, like the gem. And gosh, I mean, because I'm thinking of pile 2, the second collective, which actually has the gem. I'm wondering if that's an indicator for you to check out that reading too, but I don't know because I haven't done that reading yet. But even with the vow, gosh, whenever you see like this bird in the air flying up toward the sky, that's like the awakening, and that's a confirmation that you guys are going through this awakening, you're ascending. And the thing about ascending, guys, is it's not for the faint of heart. It's not, the 1% of the population supposedly is twin flame, true divines, right? Counterparts. But there's still a lot of the population that's going through a spiritual awakening. 15% of the world, in fact, if we're talking about data. But the point is, when you are ascending, it's not easy. It is, you're going to come across a lot of shadows. Hi, Moon. You're going to come across a lot of shadows and really tough, dark days. But after that, you ascend even further. And then, it's like it never ends, right? Like as soon as you think I've ascended, I'm at that enlightenment feeling. I am, on top of the world. I am full of peace. Nothing could stop me. I'm all the way up, But it's like that feeling. But then spirit is like, nope. And brings you back down to earth to go through another cycle of ascending, and that's the journey, guys, right? But it's also bringing like with the vow and commitment where I feel like both of you, and that's a big thing to say, guys, because even I would say never wait for this person. Obviously you can't because you will always be in a runner chaser if you're focused on them, but I will say it does feel mutual right now as far as how you guys are viewing each other. The Two of Wands, both of you know exactly what you want within this connection. It's like this person, if they haven't came around, they've come around now. Like in this current energy, you and them are both there. Yes, Muni. And with that in mind, I feel it's future oriented and it goes both ways, but also that could also be what's keeping the distance, especially if there's anxiety, especially if there is focus, if this person is trying to focus on building that that empire in order to have this commitment and to make this vow, towards you. And not to ignore Anima Mundi, but this talks about consciousness, like a shared consciousness. And I feel like that is kind of what you and this person are bridging and merging into with your stillness. You guys, again, to go back to the idea of you guys have the same soul, and there's so many different beliefs about what exactly twin flame and, split soul, it's honestly, from what I've learned and through my own research and through my own experience, honestly, I feel like it could very well be you in a different lifetime. Like you are the same person, but you're on a different timeline and you meet in one lifetime. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, it's hard to explain. But I feel like you two are in this energy where you're starting to merge and realize that this is feeling, the stillness is, it's like you guys are tempering the stillness between each other. That is what is currently being worked on. But again, if you and this person are, or if this person is focused on their career, their finances, their future, and even though they realize you are a part of it, they're not going to move in aligned action towards you in this commitment, perhaps until they feel secure in that sense, guys. So that's kind of where I feel like this energy is with you and your twin flame. Like there is a delay. All right, I want to see alchemy. What's being alchemized right now with you and your twin flame? What's going on with that? But this is not bad energy. I feel like both of you have come a long way, especially you. And you are continuing to grow. It's like I feel like you do know and have that Empress energy within you. We got the iron at the bottom of the deck energy. Just put it here. We got so many cards that I can't really overthink it. Okay, Sun's Splendor. Oh my gosh. If I'm going to say any card feels like union, it's this one. Sun's Splendor. The sun energy. Card number 53. We have copper. We're getting metals for you guys. 2 metals. Copper and iron. Iron will. Copper penny. Sap of the moon plant. Moon energy is coming in. So this feels a little bit where the distance is in the stillness. You might be feeling this person's energy, like I mentioned. You could feel it there, but you're not focused on it. You're focused on your own abundance. You're kind of falling to the wayside, to the backside. You're falling in the shadows and not putting yourself out there. And you're being a little bit more mysterious. But I feel as though this person is mirroring that. But in their sense, it's their focus on cultivating that 3D energy for their future. But we are looking at a rose, a black rose. And it feels as though I always get the feeling of protection. We're getting the background of a universe as well. And even notice like how rose, all of that is kind of like through the mirror. Rose, if you were looking at it through a mirror, that's how you would read it. Rosa. If that makes sense. So again, to go back to the mirrored energy, which I just noticed this for the first time. That's kind of cool. So I might have to look up the metals though, guys, because I wasn't good at science. I got a C in science back in the day. So let me look up these metals. Aries though. I'm thinking of the god of war, but that's not how you spell Aries, the god of war. So let's look it up. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm so glad I looked this up because copper is fertility, the womb, Venus. We can't get more clear than the divine feminine than that. Wow, guys. Copper feels like gold too, just the energy. I love copper. My favorite type of jewelry is rose gold. I love rose gold, but I love all type of jewelry. But wow, that's really cool because, I was feeling that energy, the Queen of Wands. Like, I resonate with the Queen of Wands. I love seeing the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. That combination right there. It's like you've gone through it and you have ascended, but I still feel like there might be another layer. There might be another layer for you with this person. However, we are getting the copper out here, okay? And let's take a look at iron. Oh my God, guys. Mars energy. So we got Venus and Mars energy. How funny is that? And some of you that are more familiar with this deck than I am, because this is one of my newer decks by Kim Cranes, probably already clocked that maybe. So my bad for taking so long. But wow, we got Mars and Venus here. And iron is representing magnetism, reliability. Magnetism, guys, which completely makes sense between the energy between divine counterparts. So the divine counterparts are here. And I feel, like I said, the energy that I'm feeling is it's starting to feel really good in this stillness. Like, both of you know what you're having to do. But to go back to Temperance and Two of Wands, I do feel like there is starting to feel a little bit of that sun and moon. I just realized that now, guys. Oh my God. But it is starting to feel a little bit like that disconnect with this person feeling comfortable with the aligned movement yet. It's like there's such value in this connection between the both of you at this point, but something is being delayed, and it's feeling more so. It's more so on this person. Like, are they ready? There's something that they are focused on. And again, I feel like for them, it's connected to you. Okay. So let's keep this moving. I thought it would be a really cool idea to bust out the message oracles. I have 2 message decks together, and I am working on my own message deck for the channel, guys, but it's taking some time. All right, so let's see what message, what would they say? Your twin flame, especially for those of you that are at a little bit of a disconnect as far as communication goes. It might be far and few in between for the both of you, or some of you literally could be haven't spoken to this person for a while. So let's see, what would they say? My emotions for you have always been intense. Temperance in reverse. I fell in love with you the moment we connected. I had a crush on you from the very start. The flashbacks I have about us are intense. Wow, and those are 2 different decks. We're getting the word intense twice. And again, that's the energy that you may have already ascended, guys. You may already have your nervous system in check when it comes to that intensity that you may have felt at the very start that this person may not have felt. But it feels like things have rotated. I'm looking at rotation at the new bottom of the deck. But things have rotated or switched where now this person might be dealing with the intensity of emotions they are feeling towards you, and you are feeling a little bit more at peace when it comes to that. Let's get a few more. No matter how hard I try, my thoughts always sway back to you. This person has tried to distract themselves. Not necessarily with others. It could be at one point they could have tried. We're not picking it up in your reading today, which means that they probably aren't currently. But they may have tried to distract themselves with others. They may have tried to distract themselves with things, with people, with situations, with events, just so that they don't think about you, but it doesn't matter. The intensity is too strong and they always end up rotating back to you. At least that's the current energy, guys. Again, at the start of this twin flame journey, that was not the case. This person was not feeling the energy as much as you were. I would like to give this another chance. Okay. I loved you more than I let on. I can't imagine a life without you, which is where we get the Ten of Pentacles. Everything they are doing is to build this sort of dynasty, and they have envisioned you in it. I want to come into alignment with you, dude. All right, bottom of the deck, our last message. I feel empty without you. Okay. So this is just kind of confirming where you guys are at. I do feel like there is, I'm just going to be transparent. I do feel like you guys aren't completely there yet. You might still be caught in a pattern with this person, but you're gaining strength, you're gaining peace, you're figuring it out, collective. I feel like you and this person will get there, but don't put pressure on it. Don't focus on it. Don't rush it. And remember, when this person, if this person comes back in, it may not be the time yet, especially for those of you that are already communicating with this person. And again, far and in between is for a reason. You guys are not ready for union yet. Perhaps. But the good news is I feel as though this person knows what they need to do. It's like this person has woken up to this. They're feeling the energy. You know, we're getting moon, sun, Mars, Venus, the yin yang, and it is feeling aligned. But it's not quite in complete fruition yet. I do feel like this person has you on their mind, but when they're not thinking about you or feeling there, and again, a lot of what their distraction could also be right now is work, is finance, creating stability in their own life. But with Mars energy coming through, and that was iron, you know, Mars energy is very volatile. It's transformative, but it's also action oriented, you know? So this person needs to temper what that's going to look like. Okay. Wow, guys, what a interesting read. I feel as though you've gone a long road with this person already. So much history between you and this person, and yet it's not grounded in the 3D yet. And I know that's so frustrating. And a lot of you might be at the point where you're just over it. But I don't think a lot of you are there yet. I feel like some of you are still hanging on. And if you are, guys, that's why the delay is there. Okay? I'm just being transparent, guys. Some of you need to hear this. And for those of you that truly are on this divine journey, you will not get angry. You will not come for me in the comments. Because if you do come for me in the comments, you're probably not a twin flame. Okay? Let's just be honest. Because we both know, like we all know, I should say, because there's more than just two people. We all know that if you truly have met your twin flame, whether in 3D or not, you know how hard it is. This is not an easy journey. It's not for the faint. And honestly, if you do not walk away from this energy, you and this person will always be in that runner chaser. So with that in mind, let's look at your advice, because I think that's going to kind of be the telling factor of what advice Spirit directly wants to give you when it comes to this energy, guys. And we're using Work Your Light because, gosh, this is my OG deck, and I just feel like it's perfect for a twin flame reading. So let's see. And guys, I love you. I know how hard it's been. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Get grounded. Okay. So some of you could have fallen off the bandwagon a little bit. Trust your path. I love this card. Leap. bottom of the deck, play after that. I like both of these because that feels more so with the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Like, move, because I feel like you already know what that means for you. Your set point where you should be. But I feel, you know, maybe in the current energy or lately, you've kind of been roped back into this energy a little bit, especially if you've been sensing, date night, communicate, commitment, the vow. Like if you're feeling their energy and wondering, like, are they coming back in? That might be very difficult for you, and you might start focusing back on this person. So I feel as though Spirit is coming in to say, get grounded, go back to your go-to rituals, most of you divines probably don't even do rituals anymore because you've already kind of got to a place of true level of consciousness. But lately, you may have, like I said, you are a human being. Don't worry, divines. Like, it's very difficult to be consistent unless you're like a true guru in that world, maybe. But again, I would never underestimate a true divine either. But it's difficult, and the twin flame doesn't help because that's the worst type of trigger, but that's why it's activating this within you. So I feel as though get grounded and take a break from this person, this energy. You need to. You need to focus on yourself and also let go of outcome, trust in the path. Because, gosh, guys, it has nothing to do with this person. If you are truly going through a spiritual awakening, which means the twin flame activated this, okay? Your spiritual awakening is the most important part. By the way, that was a moon in the background, okay? Moon. Go, baby. So that being said, it's like you are going to live in a world that is, I can't even explain how amazing it's going to feel. I mean, you're going to wake up, your set point is going to be joy. Your set point every day is going to be bliss. Like, I can't even explain. Peace, I mean, the goal isn't peace. I'm sorry, the goal is not happiness, joy, bliss. The goal is peace. Regulate your nervous system. Be conscious, be present. And joy, bliss, that's the side product. You don't even need your twin flame. And if this person comes back and you decide to accept this person back into your world, that would be a bonus if you look at it that way. But again, you might not need this person. You know what I mean? I mean, that is a message to my true divines. Now, if that angered you or triggered you, you are not, you are at the very beginning of this stage, or you're not a twin flame. I'm just going to be honest. Okay? So with that in mind, guys, I think you're on a good road. Trust your path. Go and play. Have fun. Go out with friends. Take yourself on a date. Focus on what's going to build that abundance, that energy that you already are cultivating, that beauty within and without. It's like beauty surrounding your world. It's a vibe, dude. And I am thrilled that you are accessing that frequency. Don't lose it. And if you do, come back to yourself. You're going to have hard days. You're still living in the 3D. You're going to have situations at work or someone's going to cut you off in traffic. And that's okay. You're human. But the more grounded you are, the more you're going to realize you're not going to get carried away by those emotions. Temperance might not just be for your twin flame. It could also represent your energy as well. So get grounded, guys. Take a break from anything that might be a stressor in your life and try to be in the energy of play, do something different, leap into the unknown, have a little fun. Okay? I love you guys. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful journey you're on. And let me know if this resonated with what's, the current energy between you and your, the person you are thinking about. And again, send a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't. And for those of you that are truly my divine feminines, like, I'm so impressed with you. I'm so proud of you. You are amazing. Keep going, guys. Okay, I love you, and I'll see you again. Bye. Hello, group two, and welcome to your reading, my divine feminines. Most of you are going to be divine feminines. So let's get into it. If you chose the light purple gem and or this kind of cool classic deck, I believe, is this the pop art? No, this is the neon classic deck, I believe. Either way, let's get into your ultimate twin flame reading. Guys, welcome. If you're new here and you're just like, what is going on with today's readings? I wanted to tap into this energy that's been surrounding me for a while, and let's see what comes through for this collective. We're going to start with, what's the current energy? Where are you at with this twin flame? Where are you at with this person? Thoughts, feelings, emotions, mutual, mirrored. We're going to look at all the details and all the perspectives of what's the current energy, and me come up with some specific details to tie you to the reading to make sure that you are in the right timeline when it comes to this energy as well. So let's see what's going on in this situation, Spirit. Thank you so much for coming through for today's reading. May we get the best messages for group two's higher self when it comes to their twin flame and their spiritual awakening journey. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So let's see what's going on what is happening right now in this connection. What are the thoughts, the feelings? What's going on? We're starting with the tarot. We're getting the sun in reverse. This is card number 19, Leo energy. We're getting Ace of Swords in reverse. We have the Six of Pentacles. I'm already getting a feeling of you guys right now, but let's see. The Moon in reverse. Interesting. A lot of reversals. Don't be scared of reversals, though. Again, this is just kind of defining a little bit more with detail what the current energy is between you and this person, your twin flame. The Moon energy is Pisces energy. Reminds me of Cancer, though, because it is the moon. And the star, you have got to be joking. And I think I got to cover this. So, I don't know. We're going to use my obsidian. We got the sun, the moon, the stars. If this is not a twin flame, I don't know what is. There is hope. All right, let's see. Okay, Five of Swords with the sun in reverse. We got the Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay. Six of Swords, two sixes. This Six of Swords is in reverse. Four of Cups. And the King of Wands in reverse. Bottom of the deck, the Emperor. Goodness. 10 of Cups. And 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Judgment. Something about the Sun and Ace of Swords in reverse coming out, and those were the first two, and the energy that kind of hit me the most, and it kind of just escalated throughout the spread, is the feeling that this is more of a newer connection. Some of you may have just discovered you found your twin flame, because I'm getting the feeling of massive confusion, massive disappointment, massive conflict. It's like some of you might be really going through it right now. And let me just pause and say, you will get through this. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Okay, unpause. So the Sun and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Let's start there. Or let's start with the Sun and Five of Swords, guys, okay? You and this person aren't happy. There is not joy and happiness being cultivated right now in this energy between the both of you. One of you could be blocking now the sun energy. And again, if anyone is going to be sun energy, it's going to be the divine feminine, because that's kind of the energy you're going to be ascending toward if you're not there. And I feel like some of you are going through it, so you're not accessing that frequency that you will access eventually, guys, I promise. But I am getting immediately that there was some sort of sharp trigger between both of you that led to a conflict. This feels as though you and this person just kind of fell into a no contact through something that really was, that really stabbed you in the gut, I'm getting. Some of you, this could have been a third party. We're getting the King of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Always gives that player energy to me. And if your twin flame was giving you that energy of not prioritizing you or making you feel that there's competition or there's some sort of like energy that they're showcasing to you, like a vibe that's just a turnoff, but you're not really seeing it because they're your twin flame, so I feel like some of you woke up to the some sort of conflict, like something kind of took over. And what that could be is energy, effort. In the middle of our reading, we're getting the Six of Swords in reverse, like the feeling of someone not walking away, but maybe should be. Six of Swords is the energy of someone leaving something very painful behind that was not helping or aligned with them. It could be a really bad disappointment, and again, in a romantic sense, it could be a relationship, a karmic relationship being, walking away from something. But with it being in reverse, if you're going through a hard time with this person, but you're having a very difficult, challenging time figuring things out, it's like you're left in confusion. Even with me bringing up the third party, guys, which could be so triggering. And I get it. I get that. Trust me. And it's the feeling of not really are seeing this person and they're not even close to being in their divine energy. They're showing you these red flags, perhaps. Okay. And that could be causing some confusion. Ace of Swords feels like a little bit lacking that clarity. And again, this could be bringing you down, or bringing the connection down with the current energy. I feel as though and with the Knight of Wands in reverse, it's like there might be some confusion of whether or not this person is a player, whether or not this person does dabble in third party situationships, or, like you're getting the sense that you can't fully trust this person. I'm also getting again, that might not be for the majority of you, but that could be for a lot of you to help you understand that this could be your reading. If you're getting that feeling of jealousy or that feeling of yuckiness, if you even sense that this person is that type of person, that player energy, it's not it's like it's a turn. It's like if it was anyone else, it would be easy for you to walk away and be like, ew. But something about this person, because again, if they're your true twin flame, it's very difficult, especially at the very beginning, to, detach from this energy. So Six of Swords in reverse could be where the difficulty is. And this person could also have that same, you guys could be in a pattern right now, and it could be confusing too. But we're getting the Six of Pentacles, and again, two sixes, okay? Lover's energy. Um, and also the sixth house, house of health, mental health, being stuck in that not knowing, the confusion. But anyway, to go back to the energy of Six of Pentacles, you see the Libra energy over here with the scales, the equal give and take of energy. Because this is a love reading about twin flames, and even with twin flames, it could be a general reading too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a love reading. But Six of Pentacles, like, where is things being reciprocated? Is there equal give and take? Is there hot cold energy? Is it hard to walk away from something that's not being equal? Are you giving too much? Are they pulling away? That's typically the start of this type of journey, guys, or this type of experience. And it could really be difficult to see your way out of it. So I feel as though those of you that chose this pile, this is more of a lot of the beginning stages. Now we're getting the Emperor, which is so funny with the Ten of Cups. It's like this person you are thinking about, they are in some sort of false confidence right now, I'm getting, especially if you are hyper focusing your attention on them. Without you even knowing it, you could be building them up when it's undeserved, or because they're not really figuring out the stuff they need to figure out in order to get aligned, in order to move into a divine frequency, in order to be in union as a twin flame, right? So I feel as though one of the things that's already coming in very strong for you guys, and I'm gonna have to have that tough love for you, because some of you, and again, if you get angry or mad, this might not be your reading. You might not be a twin flame. I mean, or some of you, it's a hard pill to swallow. Like when you're in the thick of it. And what I mean is obsession, addiction, but I'm not getting that so much. But Four of Cups. Now, Four of Cups could represent both of you. This could be mirrored. You could now be in a Four of Cups. You could be ignoring the beauty of life right now because you are hyper focusing on what was so disappointing in this connection. And it's like you're seeking clarity, but it's like a wet sand. It's like, sand. Gosh, I'm getting the imagery of like when you're trying to hold sand underwater and it just slips through your hands. It like crumbles back into the sea floor. And it's like dissolution. It's like dissolving. And the feeling that I'm getting that you might be in with this Four of Cups energy, with the moon energy, is now you're just kind of in the dark night of the soul. You're having a difficult, you don't even want to be around people. You might be temperamental. You might be triggered easily. You might be crying a lot, especially because you might be still left in confusion when it comes to this person. But, it's where you still might have hope, which also traps you in that energy as well. It's really difficult to, you're going through an ascension. If you're going through a dark night of the soul, this person just activated it. And I feel like that is where you are currently at. And guys, I know how difficult that is. Like, dude, and you might be calling off from work. You might be having a lot of sick days. You might be not wanting to socialize. You might be trying to keep to yourself because, again, you're going through something you can't explain. And you might also be breaking down in public. If you have to work, people might be wondering, like, what's wrong with group 2? What's wrong with collective? Why is collective keeping to themselves all of a sudden? And it's a little confusing for you as well, perhaps. Now, for this person, the Four of Cups could be them blocking your energy, moving in a different direction, not prioritizing you, are showing up and creating the feeling where they are not trying to commit. They might be wishy-washy too, which could leave you in a little bit of lack of clarity, where you feel that there could be something between the both of you, but then in a blink of an eye, it feels completely the opposite. So I am getting where you guys are in the thick of it. You might not even have that much history with this person. You and this person could have met not too long ago. Most twin flames, usually they only start talking, corresponding, or dating, or whatever, however it might look, for not that long, guys. Maybe a couple of months at most, but typically maybe a few weeks, a month and a half, a month, anywhere in those lines. And all of a sudden, it may have just like now all of a sudden it's starting to feel confusing, and now maybe a little bit of distance is being created. So, do we need to get any clarifiers? I'm not feeling we need to be honest, but I am excited to get into the oracle because I am curious what's going to come through. If we're going to get some confirmations or any other energy from this collective. And guys, if you are going through it, you're going to get through it. Don't rush it. It's a spiritual awakening. It's not meant to be easy. But trust me, when the first initial dark night, dude, it's the worst. It could last for weeks. It could last for months. It feel like you're falling into depression. It could be very difficult. And obsessive thinking could be taking a hold of you as well. So addictive thinking. So let's see what energy animal is coming through, whether it's your twin flame, whether it's you, or whether it's being mirrored in some regards. So we're going to start with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck for Group 2 Spirit. Their twin flame, unicorn. Oh my goodness. You might be viewing them as someone that is so special, so unique, and that is what's pulling you in, the addictive energy. And trust me, it is difficult when you view this person and put them on a pedestal, guys. And again, if you're like, I'm not putting them on a pedestal, I don't know what to tell you, because I feel like that's kind of where the current energy is. You are focused on them. Like, I'm not trying to lie to you. It's going to be tough love for some of you, but some of you get it. The majority of you that truly are divine twin flames, you're going to understand this, and you're seeking help. So I know you are really trying to gain everything that is being discussed right now. But for those of you that are getting triggered by me telling you, you might be putting this person on a pedestal. And again, this person could also look at you and feel that pull, but it might be for them more in the lustful. It might be more in the 3D, especially with the Wands energy. But let's see what other animal. Unicorns are very spiritual though. Swan. Oh my God. This reminds me of twin flames. Look at the mirrored swan. In a lot of my decks, like the swans come through with the Two of Cups, which could also imply a spiritual connection. The lovers, for example, also could look like this imagery. So, gosh, I wonder if Kim Crane's like played around with that energy. But either way, two swans, but for this being a twin flame connection, this is mirrored. An indicator of mirrored energy right now. So while if you might be chasing, they're running. Remember that, guys. So the more addictive energy that you are focused on them, the more they're going to pull away. Think of it as two magnets repelling each other. And in order for a twin flame to be, you got to be at peace. You're going to have to go through it though, guys. It's not going to happen overnight. This could take years. This could be a journey. This could take years. All right, let's see. Zebra. Look at the third eye triangle Also represents someone could be in their head. For some reason, I'm getting that. Tarantula. All right, let's move our obsidian. Thank you. All right, and then let's get the bottom of the deck. Take a look at the overall energy. Ooh, almost dolphin. Gosh, I'm obvious. I mean, this is a twin flame reading. And regardless of where you guys are at in this timeline, which feels very new, it feels very beginning, it feels like your world is swallowing you up as you are realizing you are going through something that is very unique, i.e., 1% of the population. And with that in mind, there is a lot of spiritual energy coming through. Spirit is with you guys. They are activating this ascension. And in order to ascend, you're going to have to go in the depths. And that's kind of the energy I'm feeling you are in. Ooh, we're getting snake energy, which is also feeling like multiple dimensions. It's very spiritual as well. And a frequency. It's like you're activating the frequency that you don't even know exists yet. Oh my God. Group 2. Listen, I'm here to pump you up right now because I know you're going through it. And I remember being there. I remember being in this energy, and gosh, it's debilitating. It could be very debilitating. And you don't know what's going on. You have no idea why this person is pulling you into this energy, this addictive magnetic energy. And you're just like, this is weird, because like any other person, you would not even second guess, right? And so this is where you realize something is different. And for a lot of you may have just might still be questioning, like, is this my twin flame? So you might not have locked in yet. And some of you might be wondering, is this a karmic? And it could be. This could be a karmic. This might not be your person. This might be a player, legit. But if this is your twin flame energy, they could still be there, guys. They could still be in player energy right now, or not wanting to commit, or not even close to thinking about settling down. And that might be very difficult to hear right now, guys, because like I said, this could be a very long road. And it's not for the faint of heart. But if this truly is the path that you are on, you are divine. I promise you, you're gonna get through it, guys. I promise you. Gosh, it's like easy to say now, but it's easy to say. And I know that sounds bizarre, but one day you're gonna say the same thing. Man, you're not even gonna focus on this person. So you just have to kind of sit in your strength. Don't strategize. Stop focusing. Stop looking this person up. Those are the type of habits. If you realize your habits, like take a look at what the patterns are in your 3D. Like, what are you doing that's keeping you a little bit more, unwilling to let go? And try to release those habits. The thoughts are going to come and go, but again, it's all about like what you're actually doing that could keep you trapped, So that's just some side advice. So let's take a look at cosmic insights. Ooh, I'm wondering what. Now, brace yourself, because there's some really honest cards in this deck. So let's see, Spirit. For this twin flame group 2. Oh my goodness. Wow, I wasn't expecting that, guys. And this is an easy deck to shuffle. All right, where did my wand go? My chakra wand, my rose quartz chakra wand. All right. It would be a really cool wand. I would want a longer wand handle if I was really in Harry Potter. But it would be kind of cool to have something like this. Maybe not glass. It would have to be like I'm going to town with this. Some of you may love Harry Potter, but it would have to be like some sort of like dragon crystal or whatever, strong glass there is in the Harry Potter magical world. All right, that being said, and maybe you need to distract yourself with some sort of story, maybe read Harry Potter, do a marathon, get your mind off this person. All right, so let's see. But to tap back in, just for the sake of our all about what's going on currently with this person, with you, with this twin flame, let's see, Spirit. What do we need to see? Group 2. Oh, God. All right. Gambling at the bottom of the deck. Patience after that. We have cycles, caution, divorce, spy. Oh, gosh. There are twin flames where some of you might be dealing with someone that's going through a divorce or someone that might be you and this person. It could also feel that way. This could represent it says experiencing a breakup. So for those of you that just ended this and now, boom, you're in this dark night, which is kind of the vibe right now, guys. I'm going to be honest. That could also be the representation, but this is really giving a confirmation, guys. The energy is super strong right now. You guys are you're gonna notice you might be in a pattern. If not right now, you might develop, you and this person, be on the lookout for that, guys. Use discernment because you might let this person go and they might come back in immediately after that. If you're already sensing that this is kind of in and out, back and forth, hot, cold energy, runner, chaser, this is the cycle that you might be in, or even whatever pattern you might find yourself caught in. What are your habits that you need to break? What cycle are you in? And again, whether it's your twin flame, you might have noticed that you could be finding this type of same energy, which might be why you're questioning, is this my twin flame? Or is this just another person that I'm caught in the same cycle with? And for some of you, that might really ring true. That could be a confirmation. But again, it could also be both. You might be, and for those of you that just ended this, and you started feeling this person distance themselves, again, I don't think it's going to happen overnight. So some of you might have to get into the fire and what this cycle, but again, caution. You're gonna go through it, guys. You're gonna end up back where you started. So again, if you're going through a dark night of the soul right now and you're in the dark end of it, some of you might be out of it or closer to getting out of it, and this person comes back in. It could be good for a couple of days, couple of weeks, but again, this person might run away again. Something might trigger, something might, and then it ends up being back into the obsessive addictive pull. So just keep that in mind, guys, because that's kind of what it is. Now, spy, again, divine. And that is not a divine look. If you are spying on this person, it's so easy nowadays, guys. It's easy to Google anything, right? And it's easy to find someone's name and look them up on different social medias, especially if you and this person have blocked each other. If someone took it to that stage, some of you might not be blocked on social media, so you might be overthinking everything that this person posts or every like or comment that they leave on someone else's page. Like, you really might be investigating. If that is you, divine feminine, you need to stop right now, okay? And this is tough love. And if you're not prepared to hear these messages, you should have clicked off a long time ago because, I'm being legit with you guys. I can't allow you to stay in that energy because then the cycle is going to persist. So please take caution, use discernment when talking to this person. As soon as you feel your nervous system go out of whack, or as soon as you start feeling like you're being or over giving, or then you need to stop focusing. Like you have to, you just have to forget about this person is what I am trying to say. But I know that's hard to hear right now. All right. So for you guys, but I'm staring at patience, and that is what it's going to be needed. And, unless I've never heard of, in all of my research and all of my, falling across amazing leaders in the twin flame, world, and learn a little bit of everything from everywhere, right? And I think that's the stage you're going to be going through. You're going to probably be doing some research. You're probably going to be wondering, like, is this? You're still going to be questioning, and you're still going to have that addictive pull. And I feel like a lot of you just remember, that's not going to be something you're going to be in forever. Okay. So let's see what the current archetype is. What is the current archetype? This is too many guys. I'm hoping for 3, but let's see what falls through. All right, I feel like this one wants to come through. All right, let's get one more. And then the bottom of the deck. The cave. Oh my goodness, guys. The funny thing is, this is my symbolism of when I was experiencing my own dark night of the soul. Like that first activation, like that ultimate activation. Dude, like you just want to hide. You just don't even want to come out of the cave, and your heart chakra is being activated, and you're going through the pain, and it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. So let's see what you got here. Apocalypses. Oh my goodness, it feels like an apocalypse, dude. How dramatic, but that's the feeling. The storm. This is so dramatic. The ocean. Oh my God. Spirit. This is why I felt so aligned to do this type of reading, guys, honestly. Spirit had a lot to touch base with you guys within the collective of this type of twin flame connection and divine energy that's coming through. All right, so I feel as though the ocean is representing depth. It's representing the unknown, the subconscious. A lot of you could be in the beginning of a beautiful journey of spiritual awakening. And the dark night, it's so cliche to say the dark night, but that's kind of like the terminology that's being used, or ego death. The ego death is that's a psychological term. The ego death is like when you get out of your own way, your own mind, you're becoming conscious, whereas the ocean represents the subconscious. So I feel as though in order to ascend, you have to go into the subconscious, figure out the patterns, be conscious, tap into truly who you are, which is the divine soul that you are. You're not your thoughts. So this is kind of the archetype right now. You are dealing with the storm. You are dealing, and it feels like a tower in your life, but not even just a tower, because we didn't get the tower in the tarot, but an apocalypse. Gosh, that movie, Apocalypto, I love that movie. Such an excellent movie, but the apocalypse, and that's also, the last book in the Bible, and the apocalypse. And that's also a genre in literature, post-apocalyptic literature. But it feels as though something big has ended and erupted where something else is going to survive outside of it. It's like we are getting Something blew up. Something is going to be feeling like your world is flipped upside down. That is what it is. That's the energy. And you are now are experiencing a little bit of just wanting to hide, just wanting to, you might be very emotional. You might be in a very emotional state where anything could trigger you. You might be crying a lot. Um, Especially when you start thinking about this person, it could brew up a lot of old patterns. It could brew up abandonment issues. It could brew up self-worth issues. All of that is going to be brewed up, guys. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot to go through. Hence the apocalypse, the storm, the ocean. It's like you're going to be feeling like you're being swallowed up. And I promise you, again, to go back to reminding you that the term ascension comes from the idea of you experiencing this and getting to the other side of it. And there's going to be another side of it. And what's going to help is if you release the attachment to this person. So after this reading, let it go. Stop watching tarot. I really do feel like this collective could be a little bit more hyper focused, guys. It's pretty clear, and I just want to make sure that you are, what, we're getting 3. That might be too many, but for some reason we're taking it. Lead. Oh my goodness. It's reminded me of like when lead is in the drinking waters, that could be very fatal. That could be very poisonous. I don't know why that came up. We have really good drinking water in Chicago, tap water, one of the best. All right. Glass. Oh my goodness. Sun, guys. And lightning. Oh my goodness. All right, chaos. Even though lightning was bottom of the deck, we're gonna take both of these. That is crazy. I mean, with the apocalypse and the storm, and now we're getting chaos. It's and lightning. Guys, but the sun is gonna come out. The sun is gonna shine, is the feeling that we're getting here. I'm also feeling like very reflective energy with glass. It's like, and it's also reminding me again of going back to the spy energy, and that could just be a side note because I am getting something, a little bit different. But as a side note, it's like trying to focus on someone, trying to figure something out, maybe zooming in on something. So, with that aside, it does also feel a little reflective, as though, in the distance, there's a sunrise. And it's hard to reach right now because the storm, like even this glass is representing like the storm imagery. And then through the looking glass, it is calm, settled water, to go back to the ocean. But there is a sunrise coming through, and now we got the sun. So I feel as though, guys, this is spirit coming through to say, like, and even lead drops. Like, I'm like, the lead pipes are like, I'm just thinking like of like, if you throw a lead pipe into the ocean, it'll just drop to the bottom of the sea. And that's kind of what it's feeling like too, for some reason. And we're also getting yin yang energy with the coloring, lightning too, but we'll talk about that in a second. But I feel like with lead, it's feeling as though there is a little bit of a poisonous energy that might be seeping through your mindset right now. And that's kind of what the Dark Knight is there for, to make you aware of it. Like, what do you need to do to change this? And obviously it means you got to stop thinking about this person. That starts with stop hyper focusing on this person. That's the only way you're going to be able to stop the addictive energy. Because this person, your twin flame, At this point, they're not feeling that at all. They're not even thinking about you probably because you're doing all the thinking. You're doing it all, which is why they're being repelled. So, even the sun, like the hand, for some reason I'm getting like repel. So again, it's really important that you guys figure out how to get in peace with self. And that could take a while, guys. That could take a long time. And like I said, that could take years. And for some people, decades, if they don't allow themselves to waken up from this. Because if you hold on to this addictive energy, then you're going to be trapped in this and it could take a lifetime or it might not be in this lifetime. So I don't know. It's a really challenging connection, guys. Twin flames, again, is not for the faint of heart. So that being said, with chaos and lightning, the imagery of a storm, a lightning storm, is what I'm getting specifically. But also, we're getting snake. A little bit of that snake energy came through. Where I saw it more than one. Oh yeah, snake. Bottom of our animal spirit deck. But yeah, I just feel like thinking of leaving the snake energy behind, we're entering like fire, horse energy, like moving with alignment. That is going to be the goal for you guys. And that might not be easy. Especially when you are going through a dark night, because you have to kind of face those shadows. You kind of got to go through it. Okay. But trust me, like when you're on the other side of all this, the wheels are going to reverse. This person's going to go through it. They're the ones that are going to have that addictive pull. Trust me. So it's just remember, like you're starting a very unique type of journey. Darkening is coming. It could feel that way too, like going into your shadows. So I'm interested to see what the message deck is going to happen. Like, I don't want to give you guys false hope with the current energy because I feel like this person is going to, but again, that could be you allowing it. I'm going to just be frank here. Okay. But it's the feeling of this person could be creating, or you could be enabling this creation of a feeling of sun energy in reverse. We're getting the sun energy twice. And I feel like in your tarot, it's like that's the current energy. But in the oracle, it's like spirit reminding you, like, this is where you could be if you release this addictive energy. So don't allow these messages, but there are some tough ones too. So let's see what comes through. I am running because I don't think I deserve you. Oh my God. So we are getting that running energy as a confirmation. Let's get the rest. I want to get a few. Okay. One, I don't know. I keep going. All right, let's see how many we have and if we feel called to get more. I struggle to show you how much I truly care. Again, it might be that this person sees you as someone that is a unique, is special, is a unicorn. But are they ready to kind of match that energy? Are you ready to be in that aligned energy with self? That's kind of what it is. Pictures of you still make me smile. We have, I can't keep going on without you. No one will ever compare to you. That's for sure. I wish I could hold you in my arms and tell you how much you mean to me. I still feel so attracted to you. And that's probably 100% this person. If they keep coming back in, it's because they feel it too. But again, they're in that running energy because this is kind of what it is, guys. If you chase, they're going to be repelled. So the minute you kind of align with your energy, they might come back in. And then again, it could fall into a pattern. So be be careful, use discernment, and that's kind of why this journey could take a while, you know? I want to reach out to you, and this person might reach out to you. Again, if this is the beginning stages, you're gonna experience an on and off again stage where it's gonna be hot and cold. Now, some people don't even align with phases, stages, but that's the only way it's easy to explain it, you know, where because it's kind of something that I've already have heard and experienced and also have done the research on myself. You know, so it's the feeling of you're kind of entering into this hot, cold chaser, runner chaser. What's really gonna create alignment is if there is a actual no contact, and that is you're gonna have to sit in that for a while, perhaps. So it's I don't know, guys. I'm just gonna say you're in for the long. If you're in for the long call, it's gonna be a long one. Okay. All right. Bottom of the deck. When I can hold you again, I will never let you go. So a couple of things about holding you, and that could be some of you literally could have been already physical or may literally have memories of hugging or holding each other in some degree. This could also be a little bit of that yearning for those of you that never really met in person or haven't aligned back in person for a while. You know, the hot and cold or the runner chaser could now be through messaging, but it really will depend. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's gonna be where a lot of you may have, you know, been, especially with the wands. I think that could tie you to this reading. I mean, a lot of you could have felt like had with what felt like a one night. But if that doesn't resonate in the 3D, it could also be in the 5D, that addictive pull, those fantasies, you know, and that could keep you trapped in the 5D, especially if there is a physical, sacral, you know, pull toward one another. And you know, this person might not see the spiritual side of things right now. So they could be coming in as that player energy, which could again leave you in confusion. And hence the cycle, you know? So it's really like I just want you guys to start seeing this because the sooner you see this, the faster you'll attempt to get out of it. And then I'm trying to speed up the process for you guys, but it's really going to be in divine timing for you. Okay. But maybe this reading will help kickstart your journey and remind you of where you should be focused on. And that is your own self journey. That is your awakening at this point. You know, stop thinking about this person. There's no point. If they come in, try not to get pulled in. Try to settle your nervous system. See what happens. Take it step by step. Don't get overwhelmed because like I said, the minute you start showing that addictive energy or that pull becomes overwhelming, the person might run again, you know? So again, guys, good luck. That being said, I want to get into your advice because you know, don't mean to make light of it, but I promise you one day you're going to be able to do the same, you know? So let's see, Spirit, based on what these messages were, and for Group Two's collective energy, Spirit, what do we need to see? Okay. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? Aw, guys, have some grace with yourself. You're gonna get through it. I know you want to hide right now. I know a lot of you don't even want to talk to anyone. I know some of you are breaking plans, being irresponsible in your life, in your 3D circumstances, just because you're going through something that you can't even explain to people. And that being said, we are getting answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? I think that is something spirit is directing your attention to. That is going to lift you up from this darkness, from this addictive pull, from this excessive thinking. Answer the call. What is lighting you up? Where is that sunrise going to be? Where is that sun? When is the sun going to come out for you? You know, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, what dreaming a new world into being. Wow. Focusing your attention, you know, we're going to think no matter what, we're human beings, but being aware of your thoughts. And if you're going to think, focusing your thoughts on something specific, maybe visualizing, and also taking aligned steps forward to create that energy in your current experience. Boundaries, I think that's a good message. Set boundaries. And that could be for yourself, you know, like especially if you're being a little bit, you know, for those of you that are here still, you know, that addictive pull of wanting to kind of seek information about this person to figure out what's going on, to gain that clarity. You could be pulled in many different ways. I'm also getting the feeling that you might try to seek help and support from others, helping hands. That could look like tarot readings, that could look like asking friends for help. Your friends are starting to maybe be turned off by this person. So now you're wondering, I don't think I could talk to my friends about this. The thing is, I think boundaries might look different for all of you, but again, a lot of you might connect with those type of specifics because that might be what you are experiencing, guys. And if that's the case, set those boundaries for yourself. Break the chain. Oh, that's another thing. Break the cycle. Break the chain. You might really be in a cycle or you might be starting this cycle, guys. I'm not sure. Either way, it feels very fresh. We're getting another imagery of a cave. So, gosh, and for some reason, I feel like this imagery is like, get inside the cave, go back into the cave. Maybe you need to, maybe you need a timeout, maybe you need to go through your awakening. And that starts with the dark night, you know, of the soul. And you're going to experience more than one, guys. But the first activation, that first big one is, whoa, life-changing, apocalyptic, okay? Chaotic, storm, lightning storm, you know? So, gosh, guys, this is where we're going to leave your reading. I'm noticing the new bottom of the deck. Don't dim to fit in. And that is kind of the opposite of going into your cave. So maybe that is also a reminder because a spirit drew my attention to it, is for those of you that do want to go out there, do want to gain some distractions, that especially if you're being called to it, then do it, guys. Don't dim your light. Forget about this person. If you want to post your best self, you know, but if you feel that tug to go into the cave, go into the cave, symbolically speaking. All right, guys. On that note, this is officially where we're going to end it. Your ultimate twin flame reading. I hope you're all right. And again, I love you guys. If you're new here, I hope you stick around. And for those of you that have been here before, oh my God, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for all your love and support. And I really am wishing you the best. Hopefully I'll see you again. Bye. Pile 3, welcome to your ultimate twin flame reading. If you chose the agate, this really beautiful agate, it's probably dyed, but look at how gorgeous it is. And or this classic tarot deck, which I guess it just has like this brownish black theme. So let's get right into it. Group 3, your twin flame, you know, like where are you guys at? You know, what's going on between you and this person? We're going to look at the details starting with the tarot, with thoughts, feelings, just the current energy, what the intentions are. And if you guys are close to alignment or union, or, where are we in that timeline? Okay. Or if that's even something to consider with this person. That being said, we're going to keep it open and we're going to look at all the details, guys. And then we have a plethora of oracles. So let's give this one more shuffle. Spirit, thank you so much for coming through for today's reading. And also, of course, for our group 3. May get, excuse me, I don't even know what I said. May we get the best messages today for our group 3's higher self. Okay. Thank you so much again, Spirit. All right, guys, let's get into it. Okay, something's falling on the ground. 6 of Pentacles. I feel like we need to take it. So we are. 6 of Pentacles. What else? Oh my goodness, guys. We got the 4 of Wands. I haven't received this at all in the readings today. But if we're talking about twin flames today, which we are, this is the ultimate union card. And it's coming up upright with 6 of Pentacles. Let's see where this is going, guys, because I want to make sure this is the right message. We got the Chariot, card number 7, Cancer energy. Moon. 2 of Pentacles. What else? Oh my goodness. Ace of Swords. Everything's coming up right for you guys so far. Really strong indicators that you guys are... Well, let's get the rest of our cards before we start talking. All right, this is our first reversal. 7 of Wands in reversal. That's a good card to come up in reverse with the 6 of Pentacles. Temperance upright with 4 of Wands. I like it. This is Sagittarius energy, card number 14. Same type of imagery, if you notice, between the 2 cups and then even just the pentacles, that imagery. It's feeling like that yin-yang for some reason. Spirit, what else do we need to see? What else is happening? Queen of Wands, there you are. Gosh, this is always, I identify with the Queen of Wands. The Empress, of course. But we got the Chariot and the Queen of Wands. Someone is coming towards you. There is the Empress in reverse. Oh my goodness, guys. With the 2 of Pentacles. All right, this is making such sense. 2 of Cups in reverse with the Ace of Swords. And then we got the 10 of Wands in reverse, and we got another 2 of Wands. 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and a couple of reversals after that. King of Swords. Guys, I feel like they're... Okay, let's get started. I mean, I don't know where to begin, but the first thing I'm going to say is for this energy... You clicked on this particular reading, guys, group 3. I think for you and your twin flame, this has been, you may have been dealing with this person for quite a long time. For some of you, years. And this is kind of where we are at, where union seems to be a little bit more imminent. Like it's looming. I feel like it's kind of there. However, what could be a little bit delayed, or I wouldn't say delayed, I would say tempered, is the Empress using discernment. So the energy that I'm getting mainly is this person might be coming in right now. There might be an energy between the both of you where you're feeling are we in physical union? Union doesn't, the terminology union, we don't really talk like that, right? It's either boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, or husband, wife. But not a lot of people say, like, yes, I'm in union now. Um, so that term really is union with self. I feel as though the Empress showing up in reverse with the Two of Pentacles, something about this person's energy that's coming in is throwing you off a little bit. It's the feeling of, are you going to, are you going to believe this person? Are they being genuine? It's that feeling where you're really in that moment of discernment. So I'm curious what the specifics are, and we could get some clarifiers actually. But the first thing I'm noting is the Six of Pentacles. That was the first thing that came out with the Four of Wands. To me, this always feels like reciprocity, that card of equal give and take when it comes to energy, because this is more of a twin flame reading in the realm of love. Although, again, twin flame, you gotta supersede those type of emotions, to be honest. But again, because we're looking at it through the lens of your twin flame, this is more so energy going into this connection. And it's balanced. We're getting the scales. We're getting scales a few times. And even just with the temperance, the water flowing in and out of one cup to another, it's feeling aligned. It's feeling like flow. So, and again, we're getting it with the Seven of Wands in reverse, which could mean that the defenses are down. Could imply that both of you are currently communicating. And it's feeling where you might be questioning, like, I don't want to go all. It's like you're feeling where if you're feeling yourself get sucked in by the energy, perhaps. And that could be a little bit where the Empress might be taking a step back, even with the Two of Cups. Like, we're getting the Two of Cups, and that's usually a soulmate card for me. Twin flames are not soulmates, guys. It's nothing like a soulmate. However, when you are in union, for those of you that will, because you may not be, and that's just another thing you have to release, the outcome. Because this might not be your person, twin flame or not, in this lifetime. But the point I'm trying to make, though, is with the Two of Cups in reverse and the Empress in reverse, I feel as though you are seeking clarification. You're trying to gain some clarity through this communication that you and this person might be having. Now, if you and this person aren't currently talking, this is what's coming towards you soon. And I feel as though the release of pressure it's feeling a little aligned, but the person collective, I think, might be having a little bit of a hiccup is this collective. As the divine feminine, and my assumption is you're divine feminines, whether you're male or female, remember that. But if you're here reading or listening to a twin flame reading, most likely you fit the bill of the divine feminine. And you're leading the charge, guys. Like, this is your awakening. And I feel as though something about this person's energy kind of deregulates or irregulates your nervous system. So you might be trying to balance yourself. You might be feeling yourself a little energetically, like where you don't know if you need a moment. It's like almost as though you just don't want to go all in, because you know what this Two of Cups in reverse feels like, especially if you experience a no contact, back and forth, hot and cold, runner, chaser energy, which is kind of the dynamic that happens between a twin flame. It's hard to avoid just because of the magnetic pull. So I feel as though those of you that chose this pile, you are at a point where that pull no longer exists for you. However, if you and this person are starting to communicate again, you're starting to get a tug on your coat, your coat sleeve or something like that. Like that energy is making you feel a little imbalanced, perhaps. However, we are getting the Queen of Wands upright. There is a lot of attraction. There is forward movement. We're getting it with the Chariot. So it's that pull in your sacral. I'm getting the feeling that, and this is probably mirrored, guys, where and with temperance here, it might not only just be tempering your nervous system and making sure you are calm and at peace and not reactive and settling your emotions before you communicate, for example. I feel as though the insane type of attraction is leading your steps and it's making you feel a little bit. Let's see. Why is the Empress in reverse? Because that's what I'm picking up on, guys, where this is so close. This might be it with the Four of Wands here. But the Emperor hasn't showed up yet, and we got the Empress in reverse. So is it time for union, Spirit? Where are we in this? Okay, these two flipped out right away in reverse. The Nine of Cups in reverse and the World in reverse. And that could imply unfinished business. Something might still be looming. Some cycle might still need to. It's like a test almost. Like, did the cycle end? Did the pattern end? And you're using your discernment to figure out whether or not you could really feel at peace with this energy. The High Priestess, yes. Your intuition might be a little bit tricky right now because, again, this person's energy is, because it's a twin flame, guys, could put it out of whack. But we're getting the High Priestess upright. So I do feel like you are tuning into that portal of your soul where especially if this is close to union, if not union, between you and this person. It's the feeling where you know what the set point is, you know what energy you need to be in, and which is a state of consciousness and not allowing this addictive pull that you may have remembered from the beginning to creep in a little bit. So let's see why is the Empress here in reverse, Spirit? Justice. Okay. So that's kind of a confirmation, guys. We are Five of Swords. I was going to say spades. Gosh. Spades. Some of you might play the game spades. If you grew up in Chicago, the city, you would know the game spades. We used to play that. I used to play that all the time, the card game. Anyway, but the point is the High Priestess and Justice. I feel that is you taking a pause. Not really sure yet, but you're gaining that clarity. You know you can't lead with emotions. You know you can't lead with love or pretending this is a romance that you know it's not. This is not a soulmate. So again, the last time you were giving to that person this type of energy, they probably ran. So the question is, how much energy, where's the balance? And if you're still feeling like you're walking on eggshells, keep that in mind that then it might not be ready yet. But for those of you that are feeling like justice is kind of being dished out, especially if you're pulling back, if you're taking a moment, like you don't have to communicate just because this person is messaging you or wanting to talk to you. If you're feeling, especially as a divine, if you're feeling a certain way about it, take a pause, guys, because again, the energy of peace is, and regulating your nervous system is the most important when it comes to this type of energy. I want to see, gosh, let's just see, guys. I wanted to get one for Ace of Swords just to see what the clarity is specifically. Eight of Wands. Oh my God. Action, forward movement, aligned forward movement. And this is fast. This is coming in. Again, most of you are already going back and forth with this person with communication. If not, it could literally come in at within a week. It could be hours. But that's the clarity. And it's going to happen fast. You're going to get that clarity. With the Queen of Swords. Wow. You're using discernment. You're not going to be completely lovey-dovey with this person. Whatever has happened in the past where justice needs to be created. And I could only imagine with the twin flame. Again, a lot of you are going to be experiencing it in different ways. So whatever that pain or no contact or disconnect look like, I want to get another just to see with this Four of Wands, what's flipping out here. Five of Cups in reverse. Healing. Again, I feel like both of you are getting into alignment, which is why this is. But you might be, again, going through some sort of hiccup. Four of Pentacles. Why else is the Four of Wands here? 10 of Pentacles upright. Wow. Okay. And this is the Nine of Wands. It's the wounded energy. Someone, and again, it's probably this person, guys. Let's be honest. The world, now we're getting the world again. And I may have to cover her. So, and I think this is where we're going to leave the clarification. So I'll just do this. But I think this is answering our question. Is the pattern still going to continue with this person? Or is it union? Is it alignment in the physical 3D? Because union starts with self. And I think with the Empress coming through, with the Queen of Wands, regardless if the Empress is in reverse or not, and again, we already figured out why you might be a little bit hesitant, is because it's like Spirit is giving you this little shake-up. Are you ready to be in union with this person? But if this person is going to create all these flutters and nerves, and all of a sudden your nervous system is out of whack and you're feeling a little unsure, then it's not the right time. So it's really important that you kind of tune into your energy when you and this person are talking. Take a pause. You don't have to respond right away. If you feel like you are starting to hyper focus, or you're starting to look at your phone a lot, when are they going to message, and you're starting to get pulled into that energy, you got to take a step back. So I think that's kind of what the discernment is. And you might already know that, guys. It's a really interesting road you're going to have to navigate with union, because it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be one day and boom, you guys are together. This could also be a development over time. Yes, the communication is coming in fast. Yes, you and this person are going to be reciprocating that energy, but there's going to be a moment where you're going to catch yourself being sucked in. So it's really important that you remember what it was like before this is getting into union. The wounds, the battered, confidence, the worthiness, the feeling of abandonment, all of that is something that is being released, perhaps. And I think that's what's being tempered. So, and we're getting it with the 10 of Pentacles, which is future oriented. So 4 of Wands energy, it's feeling as though you are releasing it, but sometimes you also have to remind yourself. And that's kind of the balance you are sorting right now. And this person might not have any idea that you still need to walk a fine line. Because again, you may have come so far, divines. You probably, it's clear that you've gone through it. You've gone through the dark night. You've gone through multiple. You've been ascending. You've been going through it. And now you're finally at a really good, strong place. You've activated your intuition. You're getting into union with self. You are feeling yourself, you're confident. You woke up like this, but this person's energy, when they come back around again, it's gonna make you feel like you need to slow down. You need to touch base. So let's get into the oracle. I'm curious, is this union spirit or is this close to it? Where are we? So we're going to look at animal spirit first, see what animals come through, whether it's for your energy, their energy, or both. It could also be mirrored. We're going to see what messages come through when we look at the animals. So let's get a few. For three's twin flame spirit, what is the current energy? What do we need to see? Dragon. Ooh. Very spiritual. What is the current energy, spirit? What do we need to see? The rabbit. The little rabbit. Oh my goodness. The phoenix. Oh, goodness. You've definitely gone through it, guys. Obviously. And then we got the raccoon. I feel like the rabbit and the raccoon might be this person, and the phoenix and dragon might be you. And again, it could also be a little bit of both. Stingray at the bottom of the deck energy. We'll put it here. Tarantula after that. So guys, let's talk about the phoenix. I feel like most of you know and understand that, being born again through the ashes. When Harry Potter is in Dumbledore's office and Harry Potter's animal is a phoenix and is born again, Harry is so shocked. Some of you might like Harry Potter. I brought up Harry Potter more than once, I think. I don't know. But either way, that could be something divine feminines enjoy. I love Harry Potter. I know that. But we got the dragon as well with the phoenix. You have found your wings. You have gone through the depths. And you are here. You are an empress. You are a queen of wands. You are full of fire and passion. And you are the high priestess. You are connected with spirit, with soul. You are opening up your spiritual world. And it's magical, guys. These are very magical cards. Dragon is also giving wisdom. It is giving all knowing. It's feeling, again, a lot of fire energy with these spiritual cards. And we're getting a little bit of grounded energy with rabbit and raccoon. Raccoon, little bit. Raccoons are so cute. The dumpster divers, raccoons. Aw, if they could be domesticated. I feel like some people have domesticated raccoons. You'll see that on social media. But raccoons usually slink in the background. They are family oriented and they do love to eat, right? So I feel as though raccoon could be the energy of the connection. It could have felt a little scary, the shadows of what this connection is. But gosh, when the raccoon actually, greets a human being or something like that, they're really cute. So I feel like this connection, this energy between you and this person may have felt veiled, misleading, and a little bit in the shadows, but I feel as though it's coming to the light with the rabbit. You see rabbits all the time. Even in the city, you see rabbits coming up to the residential blocks, in the city. And I feel as though, and rabbits also could be domesticated, but the feeling of energy, action, forward movement, where a raccoon is a little bit more behind things, in shadows, because of the reputation they get, people could be really mean to these animals because they produce a little bit of anxiety. So I feel as though this person, your twin flame, they are ready to be on the move, but this could be their set point. They could have been in the shadows for a long time, investigating, creeping up on you, spying. So for you and this person to now be in communication, the raccoon needs to kind of leave their old ways behind and maybe get domesticated. And with the stingray coming in at the bottom of the deck, it's like that feeling of be careful. You might get stung. You go into the ocean, you never know. So I feel like that could be where your discernment is. You don't want to get stung. You don't want to go through it all over again. And you won't. It's like part of you is like, I know I won't. I won't allow this person to make me go there again because you've already ascended those emotions. Remember that, guys. You've ascended all of that. So you're never going to go back to where you started. You're the phoenix now. So with that in mind, even when you and this person are talking and you're not sure and justice is in the energy, in the realm, just remember it's not going to happen overnight. Trust is built over time. And I think that is something that the Empress needs to see. And you're going to see it through consistency. This person is going to lock in. Guys, you're going to know. However, the minute you pull into that addictive energy, that's what I feel like that's where the nerves are. So I want to look into Cosmic Insights. It's a new deck that I'm using on the channel. I got the bigger version. Kind of like this. Thought it would be interesting to use it for this reading. Hi, Moon. It's like Moon knows when I'm switching it up. Moon is she's my girl cat, guys. She's amazing. All right, so let's see. Spirit, this is going to be interesting. It's been very accurate today, so I'm curious. With union in the air, what is the energy, Spirit? What do we need to see? Confirmations or any other details with Group 3's twin flame? Spy is coming out. That's a lot. But it looks like we're taking it. Caution at the bottom of the deck. Again, this is your discernment I'm feeling. We got honeymoon. Could feel that way if you guys are reconnecting or in, after such a long time for some of you. Water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. That could be an indicator. Don't force that though. But again, for those of you that are looking for specifics, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We got spy. Hearing sirens and ambulances in the background. Challenges. Liar. Someone else. Wow. Let's put these together. And it's always my block, guys. It's always my block. Okay. I hope I don't have to pause, but again, I'm not surprised. Like, this is the feeling. This is the sense that you are getting. Are you able to release this? If there was a third party, if a karmic interference was involved, which most likely there may have been, that could have created the no contact. That could have been part of your experience with this person. Liar, could you believe this person? Are they coming through genuinely, authentically? And again, like I said, you're gonna know, but at the same time, you also question it, right? Because you thought it was good maybe in the past and it wasn't, it ended up being part of the cycle. So I could feel your energy in this, guys. You don't completely want to slip into this honeymoon. And it might feel that way. You guys are reconnecting. You might be in the feeling of getting to know each other. Maybe you didn't even get to know each other to begin with. You may not know anything about this person. So just remind yourself, is this even someone you want to be in a relationship with? Like that could be something to keep your nervous system in check. And again, goodness. And again, with these challenges, it's not going to be perfect. But the thing about the twin flame, like once you guys are in union, the idea here is how are you going to face challenges? Right? Like, is it going to be where the person runs away? Or are you going to be able to work through it easily and it be at peace again. So that is something to keep your eye on as well as you guys are reconnecting. So as I'm shuffling this, I'm going to press pause and give this a couple of shuffles and see if, does it sound like it's passing, guys? Maybe it does. I think we're okay. Okay. It might be on the next block over, maybe. I don't know. Either way, let's keep this moving because now I'm really curious. Because again, this feels more so, and this could also be mirrored, guys. It might not just be you. I mean, this person is probably also, as a divine masculine, especially if they're not fully embracing their divine masculinity yet. We're going to see if any indicators come through for this. Because we didn't get anything about where they're energetically as far as are they in their divine? Because you can't have a divine counterpart with only one person in their divine, so maybe that is something also you are using discernment with, whether your spine or their spine, or maybe both of you are just over analyzing every message or over analyzing the next move. Hi, Momo. Okay, so we're gonna get the temple. Hi, baby. All right, give Mooney a little. We got the apocalypses. I'm not sure if I'm feeling this one, but we're gonna take the temple because, again, both of them came out together, and I want to make sure the right messages come through. Okay. The Bardo and the Eternal Child. And then the bottom of the deck energy is the Ocean. Gosh, it must be in the collective. And again, the Apocalypses, which is the card that I put back, came through for group 2, but you guys are nowhere in the same, you're nowhere near that type of energy, guys. This is you're closer to union. So Temple, it is feeling, again, to go back to alignment, to peace. And this could be the High Priestess energy, the feeling where you guys know you're connected to at a soul level. Bottom of the deck, the Hunter. If this person is locking in, guys, that is the energy. It's not runner chaser. The roles don't reverse. You guys are just going to be in your divine. And as a divine masculine, they usually move with aligned forward movement, guys. So keep that in mind. Now, I wanted to get the book for the Bardo just to double check it because still getting familiar with these cards, guys. Some of them speak to me right away. The Bardo, you are seeing all these skeletons, but the book says the in-between, the transition. And that's kind of what we're picking up on. The question is, are you in union, or is this the next step before union type of energy? As far as union goes in the physical 3D, you might already be in union with self. So, and remember, it's not a twin flame journey, guys. This is a spiritual awakening. This is your journey. And if you are going through a spiritual awakening, then you are at a really good point right now. And that's probably why the reading is going the way it is, because this person is being activated into this energy. They may not know what's going on, but here's the deal. The Bardo is coming through as a little bit of an in-between energy. And again, this could also be mirrored. For this person, this could be a little uncomfortable, a little, unknown territory. They might be used to running. They might be used to getting chased. They might not have experienced a connection. Obviously, they haven't if this is a twin flame, right? Where it is all encompassing, emotionally, spiritually, physically, like all of that. And for this person, that could be a challenge. I want to look up the internal child, guys. So let me see what that's about. So, as far as the eternal child, the inner child, the child of joy, it's honestly, guys, it's feeling a little bit like that Six of Cups energy. I feel as though that's a good set point. That's the energy you're going to feel when you're at peace. That feeling of joy, that feeling of not overthinking. You're not, when your ego is, the ego is not going to be in the way of this. And if the ego is getting in the way, you need to take a pause. Okay, so, and before we move on, it is feeling as though the ocean represents the subconscious, the depth of the subconscious. But I feel like just with I don't know, the imagery, it's seeing things. It's like that's your intuition. That's the high priestess, the knowing. It's the feeling of being in your consciousness. So if you feel that your ego is getting tugged again and you're overthinking, remember who you are, guys. You are the Empress. You've gone through it. So just be patient. Take your time. Even if this feels like it's rushing in, and again, this person also could be trying to pace it. Especially if you're wondering if it's going to be reciprocated, if it's going to be equal give and take, and it's not that you're testing this person. If you need a day, a week, 2 weeks, a month, take that time for yourself, guys, or else this is not going to get into union. Do you know what I mean? If this person is your person, it's not going to miss you. So let's look at what's being alchemized with the alchemy deck, guys. I want to see what is going on. But honestly, I feel like this is happening. It's like you're feeling like the calm before the storm, but there doesn't have to be a storm, guys. You just have to settle it. Settle it. All right, Raven's head. Ooh, I love it. Look at the pearl. Look at the imagery. Sulfur, reds, that sacral, that root chakra as well. And oh my gosh, guys, blood. I'm thinking of Blood In, Blood Out. Have any of you guys ever seen that movie? It's like an old school movie, Blood In, Blood Out. It was really popular in the city with us city kids, but yeah, I don't know why for some reason. But dude, okay, I need a moment and then smoke at the bottom of the deck. The smoke is clearing. I need the smoke to clear so we could analyze this. I've not gotten this type of imagery yet with the reds, but how cool is that? I mean, if you look at this deck, guys, there's not that many red cards. And so for this to come through, so we're feeling the root chakra. We're feeling grounded energy. And I'm getting the imagery of wisdom. I'm thinking of and protection. I'm getting a feeling of protection too. Blood is thicker than water. And you and this person, if you guys are twin flames, soul is bigger deal than blood, right? Blood is our human bodies, okay? And it keeps us grounded to earth. But remember, this is a soul connection. But it feels very serious between the both of you. Like when you make a blood oath, I don't know why I'm thinking of that, and you shake on it. It's like that's the feeling of a contract for some reason. I want to look up sulfur. All right, guys, I'm kind of scanning it so we don't have to read the whole thing, but sulfur, it says evaporation, up and out, both slash and. And it's talking about, the Trinity. It's reminding me of like the Trinity sign, the sign of the cross, but symbolizes the uniting of the soul, the body, and the mind. Sulfur, salt, mercury, union, alignment, and with the blood and the raven's head, it's feeling precious. It's feeling where you can't ignore it. So, goodness, guys, this is happening pretty fast where you are going to be in communication. And again, those of you that are talking to this person, this could be, like I said, pace yourself, okay? Tune into yourself. So I thought it would be pretty interesting to get the love messages. I want to see what this person would say to you. These are a couple of decks I put together, guys. I'm working on my own deck, but that's taking a while. All right, I can't stop thinking about your beauty. Obviously, there's so much attraction. There's so much passion. And again, beauty might not just be how you physically look with the Queen of Wands here. If you're the Empress, it's everything. If you're a High Priestess, if this is really a twin flame, this is a type of connection that neither of you have ever experienced because you guys share a soul. You guys are the same soul. I can't keep going on without you. You're everything I want and need. I'm keeping my distance to protect you and your energy. Did get a lot of, like, it's feeling like obsidian, a little bit of that protection vibe with that crystal. And we're getting a pearl too, something that's precious. I would like to give this another chance. I want to get a few more, guys. You don't realize how perfect you are to me. I am going through a dark night of the soul and need space. Goodness. So this person, it might not be to the extent that you've experienced, guys. Because again, the divine feminine, you are going to go all the way. You are ascending with or without this person. Again, it has nothing to do with this person. However, if this person, and if you are doing it right, if you're going down that road, it is going to affect this person because you guys share the same tank. So this person could be going through a dark night. They could finally be getting out of their ways that created injustice in the first place. Whether it's due to karmic ties, karmic situations, it's more so physical towers for the divine masculine. So that could look like karmic connections. It could be family. It could be a relationship. It could be jobs. They could be dealing with finance. Like they're just going through all these tower moments in the physical realm, but they might finally be starting to get a little glimpse of what you experienced, guys, if they're going through a dark night. So whereas you might already be kind of on the other side of it. I sometimes struggle to express feelings for you. That's obvious. I wish I would treat you better. And I feel tired of hiding my true feelings from you. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but I think that's kind of the energy that this person is in before they start communicating. It's like they're going through it. They're thinking about you more. They're feeling your energy more. They don't know why, perhaps, but now they do. And honestly, I feel that this is going to happen soon, guys. The world, that could mean a major ending. A cycle has ended. But where there is an end of a cycle, there is a new beginning or, potential for a beautiful new beginning, a rebirth, a phoenix energy, So I'm curious what's going on between you guys. Let me know in the comments and remember to take it slow. But obviously, we're going to look at the advice from Spirit because I'm curious with Work Your Light. Couple are falling. Let me shuffle it one more time. Spirit, what is our final messages advice for our pile threes? The potential union pile, Spirit. What do we need to see? Take a break. A life's a work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Again, if your ego starts to be activated more and you're starting to lose yourself into that energy, take a break. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. How beautiful. You're not doing it alone, guys. Spirit is with you every step of the way. Again, always connect with your intuition. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. And let's get one more. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Wow. Some of you might need a little pause. Some of you might need, but again, we're getting get out of the cave and then we're getting retreat and take a break. So it really could depend, but it also could be depending on the day, depending on the hour. You know, it's like this shifting in and out, especially when you are trying to align with a frequency that has created all of this awakening within you. You know, we got Minnetonkan, longing for home, belonging, the original Lightworks. It's reminded me of Purple Rain with Prince. And right, doesn't like, for those of you, whether you were born in the 80s or not, I love 80s movies, and I love Prince. One of my favorite movies too. And Minnetonkan, like when she gets tricked into going into the lake to cleanse herself or purify her soul or whatever. I feel as though this is where you are at. And also that's who you are. You're original light worker. You are divine, guys. And this could really well be happening, but again, and you already know that with the Empress coming up here in reverse, to use your discernment. If you're feeling a little bit unsure, take a break, go retreat, figure it out. And then when you're ready to come out of the cave, come out of the cave. It's really going to be a balance, but it's something that you're going to have to navigate, like unclear territory, or but here's the thing, this person as well is going to be in that same feeling. Do they need to take a break? Do they want to run? Are they going to be able to handle you in this energy without feeling they need to disappear? Things like that. So again, guys, I will say, no matter what, remember, Spirit is with you. You have a strong spirit team. No matter what, everything's going to be okay, whether this is the person you are going to be with or not. And if you do want to be with this person, and this is who you have your heart set on, you got to release the ego. And you already know that. You already know that, guys. So with that in mind, this is where we're going to leave your reading. Dude, I hope this made sense. I hope you have clarity on what's happening next and what the current energy is. Hopefully it helped you in some way. And just remember, Spirit is with you. If you're not sure what to do, don't do anything. If you are second guessing, then don't do anything. Again, your intuition is going to give you that zap right away. Everything else is going to be you overthinking. So as soon as you start sensing your overthinking, take a pause, because you really do want to remember to be in your Empress energy, guys. That being said, officially, this is where we're leaving it. I love you. I hope you're okay. And hopefully I'll see you again. Bye.